Good afternoon, traders. Let me just double check the audio, make sure we're good to go. Thank you very much for joining me today. Just double check. All right, so we got 7 people in the chat. Thank you again for joining. So what we're going to do, we're going to answer any questions that you have. We're going to look at futures. We're going to look at some swing trades, and we're going to talk about some day trading. And that's pretty much it. All right. So first and foremost, let's look at futures. Let's see what's been going on. And let's discuss. So as you guys know, we want to go to hourly chart, right? We have the range right here. So let me extend this. Okay. So this is actually the range of last week. Okay. So this is the low and this is the high. So this is the range of last week. And you can see what happened here, guys, is we poke through, right? We poke through the high. We made an inside bar. And from this inside bar, we started selling off. Okay. And this is what we call a false breakout. But, hey, Prabjo, but that being said, this is just likely because of the Fed day tomorrow. So normally in the Fed day before the lead up, there's a lot of consolidation, a lot of chop. And that's what we can see clearly here with this chart, right? It's a tight range. It's very choppy. So the announcement tomorrow will be the key determinant of, the direction, obviously, but it's also going to make the market expand. So if you're trading tomorrow, be aware of the Fed announcement. Be aware that the market will expand the points. If it's normally a 5-point range, we can quickly see 10, 15, 20-point range. So don't go and risk too much and size appropriately for tomorrow. So just be careful. Okay. But this pattern is very dangerous, right? Because it is a double top. It is a false breakout. It is very powerful. And if tomorrow the news is or the announcement is not favorable to the bulls, we can definitely roll over and things can get pretty nasty. So just be careful. If you have long positions on, then make sure you're moving up your stop losses, taking profits, etc. All right. So hi, Asif. Welcome. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the analysis for futures, right? So if we were to draw the recent Fibonacci, we could take it from this swing low to this swing high, and we can see we had a perfect 886 retracement that has held for the bulls. So almost every week, I would say since January, we've been having some very textbook Fibonacci plays. And here's an example of the 886 being very powerful. And then if we want to look at it from the bearish side, we actually had a few Fibonacci's that played out for the short. So if we go from high to low here, okay, we can clearly see this 618 rejection. Look how beautiful that is. Like, it's picture perfect right there. That's a 618. That's a algorithm short, right? And then if we take the full range like this, we can see that there's been a ton of rejection here around the 618 level. All right, so definitely a very dangerous time. And everything is really awaiting for the announcement. Okay, so we did have 1 or 2 chart requests. Let's see. We had, oh, that's not it. We had this chart request here. We had a few of them. So let's look at them very quickly. So we'll look at Netflix. So the thing with Netflix, guys, is it had bad earnings. And because of the bad earnings with Netflix, it's going to need some time to consolidate. So just be ready for more consolidation to come into Netflix. The only reason Netflix hasn't really tanked significantly is because the rest of the market is very bullish. So the rest of the market is pulling up Netflix through index and, through the Qs, through SPY, through different funds. So that's why it's kind of holding up. So there's going to be a lot of consolidation in Netflix, I believe, until we have a good solid move. Hey, Tom, welcome. Let's look at Baba. So I talked about Baba on the weekend. So we see here that Baba has been holding this trend line that I have drawn. And it's also putting in a nice inside week right now. So I'll be keeping a close eye on Baba to see how it closes at the end of the week. If it closes as an inside week with this hammer, that could potentially be a very good setup. It's also a gap fill. So you see there was a gap here. So this is actually a very, very good setup. The only thing to be careful about Baba, guys, is it likes to gap a lot, and that could lead you to being trapped. So definitely don't risk the house. Be very careful, okay? So we got BTC. So I think people were saying like Bitcoin was crashing and stuff. So let's go to the daily. Okay. So we can clearly see all of these inside bars that I pointed out in the past that have worked very beautifully on Bitcoin, even in recent times, right? If we look at this one, that's a good short. If we look at this one, that was a good long. This one is a good short. This one was a little pop. This one was a nice long. So inside bars, I definitely recommend taking a look at that. If you are looking at Bitcoin, please take a look at them and add them to your trailing repertoire. To me, this is not a crash. This is not a tank. This is just a nice little reversion here, right? The trend is still in play. We had a higher high here and a higher low, right? So we just need to continue to build a base here with Bitcoin. What I think is possibly likely to happen is we pull back a little bit, and then from this point we might have a nice strong reversal using the Fibonacci. So if we were to be able to take it like this and then let it pull back into this zone, if it pulls back into the zone and takes out this candle at any point, that would be very, very bearish. All right. Jason has a question, so I'm going to get to your question in just 1 second, Jason. So let's just look at this. 4. So 4 is definitely on a fib. So let's draw it from the low to the high right here. We can see that we're hugging the 382. So this is just basing right here. This candle is a little bit dangerous because it broke to the upside and then reversed. So this zone, 93 versus 103, is the key zone. If we get below 93, it could be very bearish. If we get above 103, that could be a very good squeeze. Snap. So Snap is working on a nice inside week here. So let's see if it closes inside, and that'll be something on my list to trade for next week. All right, so good stuff. Okay. Jason, Rich, can you check Google today? It was nice fib play, pull back to 618, then continue up. Can you tell me why 618, not 786 or 50? Great question. So let's look at Google. What time frame were you looking at? Okay, here. Were you looking at a day trade, Jason? Was it a day trade or was it a swing trade? Or I'm guessing you were looking at a day trade. So let me know which one you're referring to. So not if it's on the 15 or anything like that. But basically, let me answer your question. So when a market is very bullish, when things are very bullish, usually it'll pull back to the 50, the halfway point, and then it'll just continue. It won't touch a 618 or 786 because there's going to normally be like a load of buyers that are just so eager to get in that they just load up on the 50 and then it's just gone. The 618 is the sweet spot because you get good risk to reward, right? Because it's pulling back deeper. And if you can come in at the 618, you're going to get a better risk to reward usually. And the 786 is more of, it's less frequent, definitely, but still very powerful, still very, very powerful, as well as the 886. So what I would say is, in my book, I have multiple ways of trading it. One of the things you can do is wait for the price action confirmation at the level, right? And then that can give you an entry. There's another way that I do things called scaling in and scaling out. So you can scale in at the different levels. That way you don't miss it, right? That's what I like doing as well. But definitely the 618 is the golden zone, definitely. Anywhere between the 50 and the 618 is the golden zone. So just keep your eyes on that. But yeah, overall, I would say if you're worried about missing, then try to scale in and scale out. If you want to be more conservative, you can wait for the candlestick pattern to show up. Right? All right, so let's see if we can turn on after hours. There we go, extended hours. This is all the data I'm getting for some reason. It should be showing me a lot more. I don't know why I can't see that. I can't see it for some reason, Jason. Maybe I should type in Google. Yeah, I can't really see it. If you have a chart or a link to the chart that you're looking at, or if you can screenshot it, I can definitely take a look. But for some reason, Tradingview is acting weird. It's extended hours. I don't see it. For some reason, Google chart looks really messed up on the 5-minute, but the daily, it's fine. Maybe if I do this, see if we can see it here. No. If you have a chart, feel free to copy paste it. And I'll take a look at it. If you can copy and paste in there, or you can send me a link and I'll take a look at it. But yeah, definitely, like, the reason why the Fibonacci works are when the algorithms are heavily involved, right? And generally speaking, when there's earnings, there's going to be a lot of algorithms involved. So that's why it makes sense that the Fibonacci will work, right? And especially Google is a big, huge company in the queues. So there's always tons and tons of algorithms just hanging out, right? So very good question. And keep your eyes on these big names because they definitely follow Fibonacci extremely well. So let's go back to the weekly. I just wanted to show you guys from some ideas that you can have. So if we look here at the Adobe chart, guys, I wanted to share this with you. So Adobe right now had a big breakup, right? And then it pulled back. It had an inside week last week, and it's currently working on an inside week right now. So I'm planning to get in Adobe if we can confirm some bullishness around 523 and continue this leg higher. So that's one of the free setups that I want to give you guys. Obviously, I have a ton in my private room, but I want to share some of them for free with you guys. Okay, here's another one, Progressive. I really like Progressive as well. With this inside bar from last week, and currently it's consolidating. If we can get back above, this zone right here, 101, I think we can squeeze into new all-time high territory. So those are two charts that I've been watching and I wanted to share with you guys. As for some, I'm looking for stock that can hold for 5 years. Which one do you recommend? I don't try to pick single stocks, Asif. I always diversify my risk. I'll always pick stocks that I use personally every single day. So for example, my portfolio is very heavy in like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, things like that, tech mostly. So I try to look for companies that I use every single day and that are transformative, adding value to the world. And those type of companies I add to those positions over time. So I have a certain amount of money, I spread it out, and then I continue to add. I also use dollar cost averaging. So I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. So if you want more details to check, you can check that out. But it's definitely a different strategy than what I do for my swing trades. So I wanted to share with you guys my big winner, AMD, right? So if we look at AMD, let me see something here. So I made a big video on this, but AMD was one of the trades from the private swing room that I took here. So we had this hammer inside bar, and then we had the previous week also had a long wick hammer bar, right? And we were also sitting on support. So I really liked AMD. I took AMD here at the entry at 83.23 and the stop was 80.37. So I took profits along the way on this move up. And I think AMD just did really well in earnings. So let's see where it's at right now. So it's at 88.27. So I left a portion on for earnings because I already made good money on the trade. So 88.27 is right here, guys. So when the market opens, if things stay the same, I'm going to be close to double my money. And I really hope that AMD can continue higher and break into new all-time highs. I think it's possible. Let's look at the monthly chart. Definitely. I really think it's possible looking at this monthly chart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row, working on a green candle here. We have a double bottom. Everything is lining up for AMD to try again to break new all-time highs. And I'm positioned well, looking for the potential for this trade. All right. So Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's talk about some day trades. So let's look at SPY. So let's just look at today, right, guys? So let's look at today. Let's practice together drawing the fibs. So we had the 930 bar. So we can draw the morning leg from the 930 bar right here. You see right here, we came into the 50% retracement and we had this right here, guys. You see this candle here? This candle, you see why it's a dark candle, and also this candle, it's a dark candle because it's a tweezer top. So what it means is this candle and this candle had the exact same high. So let's read it together. The high was 417.22. The high was 417.22. And then the one actually previously was 417.23. So you can clearly see here, guys, we had a lot of rejection. So all you have to do here is take this tweezer top, short it, boom, make good money right there, close to 2 times your risk right there. So that was the first setup there using the Fibonacci. And then the next setup that I have here is taking it from this low up to this high right there. We pulled back right around the 618, 786. That's a beautiful pop. And this took us all the way to some nice extensions here, right on the 50. Then we rolled over. So what do you do when we roll over? Well, we do sequencing, right? I taught you guys sequencing on the weekend. So we do sequencing, and look at this, my friends. Absolutely stunningly beautiful, beautiful. 618, bam. Love it, love it, love it. I hope you guys are applying this, because especially in SPY, this thing is very powerful. And let's pull the short, another 618 right here. That's good for a few points. And then finally, the last push into the day here, we can take it from this low to this high right here. We have the 786, which took us all the way back up to a full measured move extension. So fibs definitely been killing it. I love the fibs. If you don't have them on your chart, guys, consider adding them to your charts, because they add so much value. If you're having trouble drawing the fibs, reach out to me. Let me know. I have my book, I have my YouTube videos, I have some seminars. I can help you guys out. But once you get a hang of these fibs, you'll never see the market the same again. I can promise you that. All right. So again, tomorrow we have to be very careful because of the Fed day. But like what I've been saying all the time, take your profits, move your stop losses up. Don't worry about things too much. Control what you can, and what you can't control, you don't need to worry about it. All right. Let's see if we have any more requests here. Okay, we did that one. Do you guys in the chat have any requests? Let me know if you guys have any requests. But basically, we covered a lot of ground. But the main theme is, if you're dealing with high volume, if you're dealing with big names, you really need to have some fibs on your charts, at least the basic ones, and just get an understanding of, are we close to support? Are we close to resistance? And then look for your price action patterns and trade them. So we have Francisco Roku. Yeah, so Roku is working on a very beautiful. So I took Roku, the last time I took Roku was here, made some good money on that. So now for Roku here, right? It's working on an inside week. Do you see how the range is inside of the previous week? So if Roku can close like this, I'll be adding it to my swing list for next week, looking to trade it. Okay. Marriott. Yeah, so Marriott is coming up to some nasty resistance, like a previous major resistance. So it definitely makes sense that it's consolidating here for a bit. But if we can start breaking through 160, definitely looks like we can have a push to all-time highs. Win. Yeah, so Win is a lot weaker, right? We can see that. I like this play here because we tagged the 20 EMA and we're starting to pop. So if we can continue this motion here, we can potentially make a newer high, because you can see we've been trending higher highs, higher lows. So maybe we can push up here. But when we come into this zone here around 150, there's a lot of resistance. So definitely be careful on that. Viacom. Yeah, like I said before, guys, this thing is going to need some time, especially with this big crash right there. It's going to need some time to do its thing. So just give it a few weeks to build a base again, and then we can go from there. Airbnb. Yeah, so Airbnb, like we talked about recently, it's hugging a fib. Okay, so it's hugging the 50. 1, 2, 3, 4 times hugging the 50. So I definitely think if we can get above here, 179.50, we can start turning around and pushing up a little bit here with all of this support. But if we go the flip direction, things can get pretty nasty because the algorithms will be eating stops on the way down. All right. So for me, guys, I'm going to be posting my swing trade results at the end of the week for the month of April. But I'll tell you right now, the month of April has been one of my best months. I've only had 1 or 2 full losers. I had about 8 or 9 winners. So I'm very happy with the progress. We've been doing very well in the room on our Discord channel. And I'm just going to continue to grind. Like in March, I'm going to share a story with you guys. In March, it was 12 winners and 12 losers. And it was very stressful, very, very stressful. And we barely made some money. And I had a lot of people that were like kind of down and depressed about it. And I was kind of pretty sad myself. But this is the point that I'm trying to prove is you need to continue to trade your system and you need to ignore the emotions and the feelings because we had a great month in April. So if I had given up in March and if I said, forget this, my strategy sucks, I'm going to do something different, I'm going to run away, I'm going to stop trading. If I had that attitude, then I wouldn't be reaping the results that I have right now. So no matter where you are in your trading journey, stick to your system, stick to your rules, and let the edge play out over time. Trade for a full year before you judge something, okay? So don't be system hopping and this hopping and following gurus and furus. Find what works for you and give it time to work, all right? So that's the lesson that I want to share with you guys today. So we have GLD. So GLD is working on an inside week. So I'd love to see this week close. If it closes like an inside week, then it would be a great, awesome setup, something similar to this or this, okay? So let's see how it closes. It definitely looks like it could be a great setup, Jeffrey. I forgot to put you guys on the screen. So here we go. That was Jeffrey. Here's Asif, Tom, Alex, Francisco. Jason was up here. Oh, I put Jason up, I think. All right. Okay, guys. So tomorrow is a very important day for the market with the Fed day. But be ready, be prepared, have a plan. Don't risk the house, and also don't trade through the actual announcement. That never goes well. Okay. Don't ever trade through the announcement. That never goes well. Okay. So if you're in a position from the morning and you have good cushion, then you can put your stop loss to break even and play through it. But if you're trying to enter a position while the announcement's going on, that never ends well. Okay, guys. So here, beautiful. Mara is also working on a weekly inside bar. So when I run the scanner on Friday to post the next setups for next week, there's going to be a ton of great setups. I can already see them. Unless tomorrow's Fed day really rips the market open. But yeah, so working on the inside week, we're going to see what happens. I just posted Mara as a potential day trade setup because it had an inside day close today. So you guys know how I trade the inside days. All those strategies are for free. They're on Scanner Wars. I'm going to show you guys. So you can go here and then you can watch all my free videos on the strategies that I use for day trading. So they are right here. Okay. So you can just click on this and then you can see all the different videos I have for strategies for day trading. So you guys can check that out there. So Mara, I prefer it more for day trading than swing trading because it is very volatile. I love to day trade Mara. It gives good moves intraday. But definitely, if we can get a nice setup here with that inside week, I will definitely be looking to play that into next week. So thank you, Tom, for sharing that. All right. Tom, are you in the private swing room? Let me know if you're in the room because those are some good opportunities there. All right. So this one's been a pretty quick one. Unless you guys have more. Okay, no. Okay, that's okay. I was going to tell you if you could post in the Discord because that's awesome. I'll bring it up. So we'll see how it closes at the end of the week. So yeah. So anyways, thank you guys. It's a short one because we're pretty much waiting for tomorrow's announcement to really be the next direction. So tomorrow I'll try to do another Sunday. What am I saying? Sunday stock talk. We'll try to do another midweek recap with you guys. And I think tomorrow will be definitely very interesting. So get your popcorn and bring it to the movies tomorrow. and let's sit back and enjoy the fun. It's going to be very, very interesting. All right. So thank you again for your time. And I will see you guys tomorrow, and bring your chart requests and bring any questions that you have. And thank you again for your time.